I know you're somewhere. I'm trapped in.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Lion's Den. So today we're gonna do Namjoon's basic health and health advice. Um, mental health and mental health advice. So I asked the cards, I asked Spirit, what's going on with Namjoon? Basically, like what are traits that Namjoon personally needs to work on? Um, Basically, what he's got going on. I did not do any my grace or my other deck. I don't know where I just put that one. I have my grace and my other deck out here. Hold on, guys. I don't. This is my self care deck. Okay, sorry. Here we go. So, yeah, I asked basically what's going on with Namjoon, what's going on with him mentally, and what are things that he's going to need to work on. So, this is kind of advice on things that what's going on with him and what he needs to work on mentally for himself. So, what I'm seeing here, we have the Ace of Swords, the Sun, the Two of Cups, Judgment, and the Seven of Pentacles. Basically, what this is saying to me is that Namjoon has a problem with his mouth. Now, this is something that I often see if I attempt to do a reading on Suho. Suho, generally, even you can see everyone who, sorry for bringing up EXO, but everyone who knows EXO, for the people who are into them, know that Suho is another one who has a very slick mouth and he says things that are just. So this talks about how Namjoon also has he has a slick mouth. He sometimes says things that can be either hurtful or damaging, and he may not mean it in that way, but it is what it is. So the Ace of Swords in reverse is telling me that Namjoon has used his words, whether it was intentional or not. The words has hurt somebody recently. This is also very funny because I actually did a Namjoon reading from my sister, and it actually was saying that Namjoon had actually said the same thing. I got the same card, basically saying that Namjoon and Jin kind of ended up getting into a bit of I wouldn't say argument, but Jin got in his feelings because Namjoon had given him some unsolicited advice or said something to him in which Jin was not really feeling, and this was like, okay, I don't want to deal with you anymore. So I feel like this is kind of still talking about that subject. So it's like Namjoon has said something or says things in general that are not necessarily the greatest or kindest of things. Um, and remember, these are flaws that they need to work on, and not Namjoon overall, his overall personality. We're talking about what is going on with him that's troubling, and that he can need help, that he could use some help on. So it's his words and his use of words to other people and people around him. He needs to actually, the Sun card comes out saying that he needs to acknowledge and start to sort of recognize when he uses his words and they affect people negatively and they hurt people. Two of Cups also comes up in reverse, saying that the way he speaks to people sometimes, and the way he uses his words ends up causing a disconnect into the ones he's close to. He could end up having some of the people that he's supposed to be close to kind of falling back and not really wanting to spend too much time with him anymore, or generally because, sometimes they're just not sure what's going to happen. We also have Judgment here. I feel like Namjoon either needs to reevaluate himself, or he's also having trouble with people who's judging him. So he's also dealing with judgment of people around him, and also needing to be able to properly judge himself so other people do not have to do it. Namjoon probably also needs to work on not absorbing too much judgment from other people. The Seven of Pentacles, this is a new deck, guys, so I'm going to just read what it's talking about here. I hope you guys like this deck. Let me know if you like it. I chose this deck because it made me think of mono. So if you guys know mono and the art style of that it's just kind of what it made me think of. Okay, so this is exactly what I was saying when I was talking about judgment. The Seven of Pentacles here is talking about a period of contemplation, and it's talking about for him. I feel like it's just saying that Namjoon really does need to take some time to himself and think about his flaws and thinking about how he needs to work on them and what he can do to improve himself. I did draw some personality cards. Now, this isn't for his overall personality, but this is traits that are negative about Namjoon that he needs to work on. Okay, I drew a few of them. Okay, so we're going to start with the Samaritan card. The shadow aspect of this is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help that you offer. Basically, I mean, to me, it's very how do you say, I think it's normal to expect to be appreciated, but I guess they're like he expects too much to be appreciated all the time. That's what that says. So we also have addicts, and it says compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. And this could be for Namjoon, again, more of a person. It could be a personality trait that he's not necessarily willing to face or acknowledge is not really the greatest. Actually, now that I'm reading it, makes me think of a comment Namjoon said where he says, J-Hope is very good at getting rid of his bad habits or stopping his bad habits. I feel like whatever it is, that bad habits that he may have picked up is something that he probably doesn't really want to actually acknowledge that he has, so he doesn't have to stop them. So we have artists, but we also have artists in the negative trait. Now, remember, we're focusing on things that he needs to work on. So they're all shadow aspects here. They're not saying that this is his personality. They're saying the negative or parts that he needs to better himself on are these: using his talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as a starving artist to elicit pity. I feel like this card, more so rather than exactly what it says, I feel like it speaks on for Namjoon being very careful with what he releases. I feel like almost like it's a warning to be very careful on some of the music that he may release, because some people can use the real issues that he faces and the real issues that he goes through. Some people can use that as a means to attack him. So I feel like this is more so of a warning to be careful of the music and the information and the writings that he puts out, because Namjoon is a very emotional person, and he puts out things that I feel like are his truth, are very true to him. And so I feel like it's just saying be very careful of that, even though a lot of people do understand there are going to be a lot of times where people will take and use that as a weapon against you. Also, he's got the Vampire card, which says depleting others for your physical survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. Okay, so I feel like for Namjoon, I honestly, when I think of the codependency part, I just keep thinking about losing his passport and needing somebody to hold on to it for him. But Namjoon possibly has some habits where he definitely needs the other members or people around him in order to get things done. Okay. The seeker is inability to commit to a path once found. I feel like this is more so his guides talking about, like, we probably giving him ideas. I'm feeling like, oh, I'm getting hot. See, I'm feeling like giving him ideas. And Namjoon has started these, but then would stop, and he wouldn't finish them. It's like Spirit will tell him something and give him something to start, an idea, something that he'll start on and he'll start working on, and then all of a sudden get cold feet and abandon it. That's what I'm feeling like. This. That's what I'm feeling like. Namjoon needs to go back and finish those things that he's been put on, that his guys have told him to do. He needs to go back and he needs to finish those. Also, slave, which is giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own decisions. And that goes hand in hand with talking about his codependency problems and probably with the vampire card, relying too much on other people. So all of these are, I feel like Namjoon, they're things that Namjoon are gonna have to. He got some work to do. He got some work to do. Okay, so I drew some cards for Archangel Gabriel to see what Archangel Gabriel had. See what Archangel Gabriel had to say to him. Okay, so the first card asks what Archangel Gabriel, what advice do you want to give to Namjoon? And I got Mother Mary. I feel like this is more so talking about him needing to go and speak to his mother. I feel like mommy has some good advice and he needs to go back to mommy and talk to mommy, make sure mommy's okay. Ask mommy for some advice, and see what mommy says. That's what he needs to do. He need to go back to mommy and ask her what, how she can help him. Maybe go back and get a good meal. And I think that would help him feel a little bit better. And then I have the media card here. Okay. And it says you can reach more people by working audio, print, and online media. But I was like, what about the media, right? I'm like, okay, what about the media? I read that before, but I'm like, what about the media? So they send out let go. Okay, so I feel like more so, it's like go home, go to mom, go to mommy, and you see the media and everything that's going on online and things people talking about you or whatever. If anybody has something to say, anybody has anything to say about BTS, forget about it. Go home, let it go, drop it. That's what I feel like it's saying. So for whatever reason, also the Sacred Travelers deck came out, because you'll see that this is not a deck that I used in my other readings. But the Sacred Travelers deck comes out, and what it has to say is for him with continuing on his journey is love flows through you and to you, voyage of the heart. I feel like Namjoon has to take more time and dig really deep within himself. There's a lot of things that he has, a lot more to say, a lot more gifts to give. The next card also is embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. Okay. And again, like I feel like this is sort of like he has lots of gifts that he has still not shown the world, that he's still not really acknowledged himself. So yeah, I this is actually the first card that came out. So I kind of did it backwards, but it's rainbow blessings. Blessings are showering your life, right? And then the next card was overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. So all together, I'm feeling like there's a lot of things there are a lot of blessings waiting for Namjoon. But first, he has to overcome a lot of stuff that he has going on within. Specifically, I feel like Spirit is saying we have a lot of gifts to give you. We have a lot of ideas, new work for you, but you're going to have to work on what you have going on now. There's a lot of issues that you need to let go of. So then I asked if his guides had anything that they want Namjoon to come to them for personally. And so the first card I got was self-esteem. Guardian Angel Michael. Okay, so they're saying he has a lot of self-esteem issues. So they want him to call on Michael for that. Okay. Also, shame. Okay. Shame. Namjoon may feel like he is ostracized. Six people here. He may feel sometimes ostracized, maybe feel embarrassed. He may feel a lot of things, and shame is one of them. It weighs heavy on his heart. And there are guides around him trying to give him and shower him with love and tell him that he's okay, that he'll be all right. His guides are healing him as he's going through what he's going through. They want him to come. They want him to come to them about his shame and let it go. Bravado. Okay. They want him to work on this as well. Come to him about, come to them about his bravado. Okay. Namjoon trying to take on giants by himself, trying to be a hero. They're like, come to us, ask us for help. Okay. The next thing is psychic awareness. They want Namjoon to become more aware of them. Okay, Namjoon has loving, beautiful spirits around him, beautiful guides that are around him. Namjoon is also a very intuitive person. You know, he's tapped into a lot of things that he doesn't necessarily acknowledge that he don't know he's tapped into it. Okay. I don't think he knows it. Like, he low-key probably knows it, but not really. Like, probably doesn't take himself seriously. Okay, so but his guides around him, the spirits around him, want him to become more aware that they are there helping him, so he can call on them for help. Again, judgment, just as it came out here, right? Judgment. Okay, they want him to come to them for that. Again, this could be either being judged, or both, being judged and judging others, feeling like he's put under a microscope or putting other people under a microscope. They want him to come to them about his fears of judgment or his problems with overly judging other people. Self-control. Okay. Self-control probably goes hand in hand with, what was it? Possibly being codependent. I think they want him to gain more control over himself, whatever he's using as a codependent, or whatever he's addicted to, whatever it may be. They're saying to come to them for self-control. Okay. I have two more cards for Namjoon from this deck. Decisions, and that's Spirit wants Namjoon to come to them about making decisions because he's caught up on something. And last is his physical body. Namjoon seems to actually have been becoming very ripped recently. I feel like this is more so rejoicing. It's possibly rejoicing in how much healthier he's getting, or how much he's paying more attention to his physical body. Or they also are asking him to come to them because of possibly how they're being overworked, and he's possibly putting a strain on his physical body, attempting to work out and become fit while on top of being overworked. Okay. Let me see if I can keep this under 20 minutes. So I usually do the grace cards last, so let's do the self-care cards first. How can Namjoon care for himself? What advice for Namjoon? Choice. Decisions came out earlier, right? Okay. It says reconsider a commitment. You have the right to change your mind. Now, that's deep. So you guys saw how this flipped over in the deck. I hope you saw it. But anyway, like Spirit was saying, that they need Namjoon to come and ask them for his decisions, like consult with them on the decisions that he's making, because there's something that he may have decided on that Spirit is like, that is not for you, and you know it's not for you. So you need to be careful, because you have every right to change your mind. Release. Okay, release says have a good cry. Grief is a doorway to your deepest self. Okay, I feel like there's something else that maybe needs to come out from this deck. Okay, that flew out. There's a tenderness. It says, speak gently to yourself. Let's talk about this. All right. Well, the first card was talking about him not using his words right. Okay. Speak gently to yourself. Cherish the child within. So this can be okay. That would make sense. So the tarot cards that we drew before could be also specifically talking about the way he speaks and talks to himself. Okay, so they're like, in order for you to really care for yourself, you have to speak gentler. So Namjoon, I know you're not watching this, but if you do, you have to be kinder to yourself. Be kinder to yourself and kinder to the people around you. Okay, that's what you need. All right. So, and lastly, I'm going to do the grace card. So, how Namjoon can carry himself more gracefully. So what advice does the Grace deck have for Namjoon? Ooh, this flew out. Oh, okay. Okay. Any last? Let's get a third one, if there's a third one. Oh, something flipped over. What is this? Is this the one? I hope this is the one that flipped over. Okay, let's start with the first card. The first card said, surprise. Surprise! Keep an open mind. The influences of grace is often found in unexpected places. Okay. So that's just telling it just says exactly what it says, that he needs to keep a more open mind and be, wow, mindfulness comes out after that. Manage your mind. When we direct our thoughts and our words towards an outcome we must not outcome we most desire, we ignite grace. Okay, so this is definitely, what's the last one? And then shine. Speak into the light. You are a gift to the world. That's what this says. So again, Namjoon's issues are all about his words, are all about mostly his words and his treatment of himself. These are issues that he needs to work on, and these are advices cards that are given to him. He needs to go spend more time with his mom. He needs to come to his guides about a lot of issues that they've been trying to contact him on. Also, yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I'm trying to keep it under 25 minutes because I missed the 20 mark. So I'm going to just cut it here and just say I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Email me if you want to purchase a reading for yourself, or email me if you want to purchase a video reading. All right. Bye, guys.